Hello again, I'm Rodney Reynolds from 3dgameman.com. You can also visit me on my personal site at rodneyreynolds.com. This Q&A video is about texting. Are my texts private? And what we're talking about here is private from the law. In other words, if the law was to call your carrier and request your text for the last 2 weeks, would they get them? Well, here in Canada, no, they would not, unless you agree to it. They would have to get wiretap authority to do that, which is good because wiretap authority, the cops would have to jump through more hoops to do that than just going ahead and calling the carrier and say, give me, the records for so long, and the carrier says, okay, go ahead and do that. Now, of course, that depends on a few different factors. It depends on which country you're in, the laws and rules and regulations within that particular country. And I'd like to hear from you on that. What kind of rules, in your country that pertains to texting. Do the authorities, can you just call your carrier and get it that easily? Also, the thing is this about the carriers. A lot of the carriers do not record texts. So what happens between a phone and a phone is that's it. It's done. It's gone. It's not recorded. It's between the two phones and that's it. Some carriers record texts for a number of weeks, a month or more. But like I said, I think that's going to vary depending upon the carrier and also the country's rules, because the laws could dictate that the carriers have to record texts. But yeah, so that's the situation, at least here in Canada. The authorities, the law would have to get wiretap authority first before they get texts. And that's it. That's if, of course, your carrier records your text, because if the carrier doesn't record your text, then well, it's on the phone of the person who sent the text and on the recipient's end. But that's it. It's between two phones. And in all honesty, I think it should be that way anyway, because texting, in my opinion, is a private conversation. But then again, anything that you do digitally is really truly isn't. It could be looked at from your family, your friends. It could be looked at by hackers. It could be looked at by the law. So you really just don't do or say anything digitally, whether it be on your smartphone, online, or wherever, that would possibly incriminate you in some way. And I'm not talking about criminal behavior here, but getting yourself into trouble. I mean, we all joke with our friends, and sometimes we say silly things and that type of stuff. But I'm talking about over-the-top stuff that if you're thinking that it's all completely safe, and you're doing this and sending texts, and I think most people do. They think that, first of all, just they do a text and it's like talking it's like talking to a person, face to face, and you're in a cone of silence, and there's nothing else, no one else going to hear you. But that's not the case at all when it comes to stuff like this, because somebody can access it in some form if they really want to. So just mind what you're texting. Come on over to 3dgameman.com. I'd love to hear from you on this particular topic. And remember, if you want to post anonymously on 3D Game Man, you can.